Some of college sports' most high-profile athletic administrators and basketball coaches, and even players and recruits, are likely to soon face pressure unlike they have ever encountered as a federal corruption and fraud case that was announced Tuesday expands and continues, lawyers and former federal investigators say. A harsh reality of such cases, said Guy Lewis, a former U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida, is the desire of federal investigators to determine how high up the alleged corruption and fraud go, meaning whether the malfeasance reaches into the upper echelons of athletic departments and university administrations. Investigators will determine that by applying pressure to those already charged, by demanding more details, by hauling in witnesses for questioning, by issuing subpoenas, and by seeking search warrants, among other tools. It is a fundamentally different ballgame, Lewis said. The federal government's ability to investigate and turn over leads and pursue evidence in an almost unlimited way is real and dramatic. Trouble has followed Rick Pitino nearly from the moment he started as a coach. All along, he said it wasn't him, pushing the blame onto someone else, sidestepping issue after issue to keep his job. That all changed Wednesday. It would be foolish, Lewis and others said, to assume that what has been publicized so far represents an end rather than a beginning. On Tuesday, 10 men, including a top Adidas executive and 4 assistant basketball coaches, were charged with using hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes to influence star athletes' choice of schools, shoe sponsors, agents, and even tailors. Federal prosecutors said at least 3 top high school recruits were promised payments of as much as $150,000. Using money supplied by Adidas, to attend 2 universities sponsored by the athletic shoe company. Starting in 2015, the FBI conducted an elaborate undercover operation, using wiretaps, surveillance video, undercover agents, and cooperating witnesses. The FBI was able to document coaches accepting bribes to steer their players to certain financial advisors and/or business managers. In other cases, high-ranking Adidas employees worked with others to pay prospective student athletes' families to ensure the players signed with Adidas-sponsored schools and then signed with Adidas once they turned pro, federal complaints allege. FBI Assistant Director Bill Sweeney had a warning Tuesday for other coaches who might be involved in similar schemes, saying, "We have your playbook. Our investigation is ongoing. We are conducting additional interviews as we speak." The FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office said they have established a hotline for information related to the investigation. Unlike the NCAA's enforcement staff and its limited investigative resources, the more powerful federal agents have subpoena power to help gather evidence and can compel witnesses to cooperate. Witnesses in most cases are not questioned under oath, but they risk prosecution if they do not tell the truth. One high-profile example of such a prosecution is former Olympic track star Marion Jones, a 5-time medalist who served 6 months in prison after making false statements to federal agents who inquired about her use of performance-enhancing drugs and her connection to a check fraud case. Businesswoman Martha Stewart also served time for lying about a stock sale to federal agents. This is a dramatic difference in terms of the investigator's ability to demand and require evidence, to employ a federal grand jury, to require witnesses to appear, said Lewis, who now represents defendants facing federal charges. For decades, the funneling of money and perks to elite players has been the college game's dirty little secret, but rarely have coaches and programs been caught. The NCAA enforcement staff, at times, has been woefully understaffed, often with young, inexperienced hires, and charged with investigating the very schools which pay their salaries. For some, like former Nike and Adidas executive Sonny Vaccaro, the NCAA enforcement staff has always been a myth and that it zeroes in on easy targets and never digs beneath the surface. The NCAA investigative and sanctioning process can drag on for years. The coaches overseeing the programs, particularly in recent years with the likes of Syracuse's Jim Boeheim, Roy Williams at North Carolina and Rick Pitino at Louisville, have routinely kept their jobs and rank among the coaching Hall of Famers. In the wake of the Tuesday's announcement, however, Pitino was effectively fired when he was placed on unpaid university leave. Louisville placed athletic director Tom Jurek on paid administrative leave. Obviously, The government has substantially more resources to get at bank records and things like that, a former NCAA enforcement representative said. I would expect they will be able to accomplish a lot more than what you would under a typical,